Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ozymandias series, and we have just finished our atmosphere dive of LLum and gathering the science, and I hit the wrong button and I lost my material study from the atmosphere. Yeah, so all that burning through the hellish atmosphere during the last episode was for nothing, or at least, well, in one instance for nothing, because I lost one of my experiments. Yeah. Well, plenty of science to go around still in this system, because we're going now for Val and Tal. But I think I need to refuel this thing first before I attempt landing on Val, because I think that it's a lot bigger and a lot heavier and has a lot more gravity than this lander in its current state and its current fuel level could afford to get down there. So we're gathering science from high above Val, then we will gather science from close to Val, and yeah, just doing the usual chores of a scientist in space in Kerbal space program. Okay, we have to adjust our orbit a little bit so that our next adjustment is a little bit easier, and I'm going to skip ahead. There we go. Okay, now we're going to adjust our orbit once more so we can go to Tal. Okay, one more burn to go. So we're gathering science near Val. Sorry for that night side activity, but that was the closest orbit I could get in that time. Okay, I hope you're doing good, I hope you're doing well. I've been a bit sick lately. That's one of the reasons why I didn't have time to get my videos up to speed. And have you heard? Kerbal Space Program version 1.05 is right around the corner. Very excited about that. Yay, we got a Tal encounter. And once more, we get to our new maneuver node. You know, the usual stuff of maneuvering through space, adjusting your spacecraft, adjusting your speed, adjusting your velocity. And then you get to where you want to go. In this case, we want to get back to the Ozymandias, because we have to get more fuel, and the only source for fuel is, of course, the planets where we can get them. If you remember, in the previous episode, I was not able to scan Tal without causing some serious bug issues. So I will, well, just set down somewhere and try to get as much fuel as I can. Okay, once more skipping ahead for that rendezvous maneuver. There we go. And we're closing in on our final maneuver. Boom! And this should place us to a rendezvous with the mothership. Yeah, that's looking good. Don't you think that Tal looks a little bit like a potato? Because since Val looks obviously like a walnut with that huge equatorial ridge, then Tal maybe is some sort of, well, small potato, maybe a peanut? I don't know, I just know that the Kerbal universe circles around snacks. So a food theme is always something you could count on in this program. Okay, there we go. Hey there, buddies. How you been? I've been through an atmosphere. And you? No, you haven't? Well, you should try. Maybe we will, my friend. Okay, enough about the roleplay. Let's get into that cargo bay. Opening up our docking port shield and aligning that lander with the docking port. And then we get inside. Yep, and we get our science, and we get the science back to the science lab. Because that's where it belongs now, doesn't it? Okay, so the next order of business is refueling, and for that we have to, of course, get down to the surface. That's what we're doing here, and I'm skipping ahead because that takes a really long time. Just folding in all our extremities, so to speak, slowing down almost to a halt, and then switching to the radial engines. There we go. Well, a little bit quicker than I expected, but we got enough thrust to weight ratio. Well, so much so that we ascend instead of descend. But we can adjust and we can descend, and here we go. We're almost down on the surface. Some adjustments via our reaction control system. You can see them firing all over the place. And boom! Touchdown! So, you know the drill. The drill is extend the drill. And of course extend the solar panels, and of course activate the ISRU. And of course also then activate those nifty little fuel cells that enables us to get that machinery going without solar energy. Because as far out as we are now, there is not much sunlight. Well, there is sunlight hitting the solar panels, but it does not have any real intensity left, so yeah, we really need those fuel cells so far out. That's the reason why they call it the Outer Planets mod. Well, one of the reasons. Okay, gathering science from the surface, once more doing our science chores, but we do them gladly for the benefit of Kerbal kind. And also for panoramic views like these. Did you see that? Look at that. That big beautiful walnut in the background. And while we're looking at that, we're planting our flag. And then we're getting back inside so we can have it nice and cozy. But first let's drop that EVA science and the surface sample. And then it's time to wait until the ship has been refueled. Which is right about now. Oh, I think, yeah. I kind of pressed the wrong button and used the landing gear to give me a boost. Well, that was some fortunate accident there. But doesn't matter, we're heading out to our apoapse. Okay, engines firing, also using the radial engines to give me a lift in between. Let's extend those panels, radiators and solar. And then, of course, we have to circularize, and then, of course, we have to get over there to Val, because that's our next target, and actually the last moon that we're going to visit before we head off to Neidon. Okay, some small burn, so we can circularize. There we go, and we have a successful lift-off of Tylo. Okay, I'm going to skip through that maneuvering bit. And let's burn some more until we go to Val. Val, I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Okay, just another skip ahead to the next segment, where we, of course, lower our periapse, and after we have lowered that, we're lowering our apoapse, and then we're circularized around that big golden, brown, ochre. What color is that thing? Well, it's a moon, and we're going to explore it. Okay, the final burn for the Ozymandias, which is our circularization burn around that walnut. Just doing some minor adjustments to my tanks. And we're almost done with this maneuver here. Looking at my thermal stats, well, we're still in a very comfortable zone, so to speak. Okay, this is looking good. And now it's time to get the lander out. There we go. Let's get out of that cargo bay. close that shield for no reason whatsoever besides optical reasons. And then we get down to the surface. First we lower our periapse, and then we're going to burn off our velocity, and with some luck we're going to hit that equatorial ridge, so we can really get some, well, so to speak, some kick from launching back into orbit. Okay, whoa, that is really close. I think I've underestimated the height of that ridge. Look at that. Whoo. Okay. Oh well, this is going to be interesting. And this is way too steep to handle safely or land safely on. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to head up there to that ridge. I hope I have enough fuel left for that maneuver. Okay, just some small burns. I hope they stay small. Just firing. Oh, no. No, don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay, this is getting too quick for comfort. I think we are now in, so to speak, a safe place. And touchdown. We have touched down on Val. And with that, we are going to explore it. Okay, just gathering the science, getting out, gathering some more science, then of course getting in to deliver that science, then getting out, gathering the surface samples, and of course planting a flag, the most important bit of this expedition. Hey, get up there, don't fall down. There we go. And boom, we're off again. So, we're almost into orbit because that equatorial ridge is so high. And yeah. We're just going to raise our apraps here. There we go, and then we're going to do the same on the other part, so we can get out of the zone where I have to just use some physical time acceleration. Okay, let's grab our science that we have collected during our stay on the planet. And yeah, once we've circularized, we're going to need the Ozymandias to pick us up, because we have almost no fuel left. Okay, just skipped ahead to the next burn. There we go. Just doing it really careful so I can conserve as much fuel as I can, which is not much if you look at the research tab on the top right corner. Okay, just burning off what I can, and yeah, well, let's leave it at that. Going to use the Ozymandias now. There it goes. And once more, the mighty nuclear engines will help us to get the lander back. But first we have to do some maneuver noting, and I'm going to skip ahead through that, of course, as usual. And there it goes. There's the lander. Just have to fire a bit so we can match our velocities. Almost done. Yep, this is looking good, and now we're getting closer. Well, this is on the night side, so you don't see a lot of things. I really apologize for that, but yeah, that was the best encounter I could do. Okay, we're getting closer and closer. And we also get a sunrise. Now that's nice, so you will see something at last. Okay, final velocity match. There we go. Okay, lander crew. Crew of one that you are. Let's get in there. Some fine adjustments using the docking alignment indicator mod. and then using as few, well, as little RCS as I can to get into the cargo bay. Okay, looking good. Always have to do some fine-tuning while I'm doing it. And are we safe? Are we good? Almost. Yes. Okay, the lander is back. And of course then we have to, well, refill the monopropellant and the battery and get the science out of the lander and into, of course, where you have guessed it, the science lab. Okay, so we are finished with LLum and its moons, but before we can head to Neidon, we of course need some more fuel, because the lander needs some fuel and the Ozymandias need some fuel, and therefore we're going to head to Tylo again. Okay, just firing some more. So, not sure how real-world operations would do that, if they would really have to refuel that much, or if they would be better at planning than I am. However, since we have basically unlimited resources, as long as we can find them, it's been a bit easier than, for instance, with my Joule 5 mission, because with that I had to haul the entire fuel with me, and in this case I just visit the moon, grab some fuel, and then continue with the mission if I feel like it. Okay, we're going to set down there, hopefully not on the hillside, which could cause some serious problems with physics. Okay, well, that's a little bit too steep. I'm going to have to adjust now. Okay, where are we gonna go? I'm going to just fly straight ahead. No. Yes. Using the RCS system, and yeah, well, that looks okay. I can live with that. That's flat enough. Okay, and once more we have to open up our drilling capabilities and refuel that big old ship, but I'm going to skip ahead anyway to the ascent back to the orbit of Tylo. And once we're there, we're going to use some of our navigational skills, as long as we have any, to get to Neidon. Okay, so once I had a little bit of time skip, we already have circularized our orbit. We have found a maneuver node that gets us out of here and gets us to Neidon. Well, not Neidon exactly, but out of the sphere of influence of LLum. And once we're out of there, we're going to use, well, whatever we can to get to Neidon, because this might take a while. I think, if you remember correctly, the transfer from Sarnus to LLum already took a lot of years, so you can imagine how long it will take for the transfer from LLum to Neidon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very, very hyperbolic orbit, so I'm going to use the sun basically as an accelerator. But that's something that we will look forward to in the next episode. Now, on this episode we're just going to head out of LLum, and as you can see we have our orbits already set. But I'm going to spare you some long time warp sequences, and we're already firing our mighty engines and using a lot of fuel so we can get our orbits. You can already see my planned orbits that I'm going to that I have set up to get to Neidon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.